Hello everybody. Today we're going to be making fairy wings using cardboard. And I have a piece of cardboard here. It's pretty big. It's 24 inches by 18 inches. And we are also going to need an X-Acto blade. This is a very good X-Acto blade, and I just broke off the top part and extended it to a fresh blade. I'm only going to use this on my own. There are no children around. I want you to make sure that this is always out of reach of children. After you've finished with it, bring the blade down, tighten it. Make sure you put that somewhere safe where the kids can't get into it. I find X-Acto blades are the best thing for cutting cardboard. If you don't have an X-Acto blade, you probably have a good pair of scissors at home that you could use, and you can cut cardboard using scissors. You'll have to do a simpler design because it's not the best tool. The best tool is the X-Acto blade. The other thing that you're going to use is some ribbon to tie the fairy wings on to the child. I also have some of these, just some strips that I cut out of a green sheet, and this is perfectly all right too if you don't have big fat ribbon. Big fat strip of sheets works. For some of the fairy wings, I used markers to color in these fairy wings. Simple. And these were just normal Crayola markers that your child has at home. So you could use those. And I also used crayons. The crayons worked really well, incredibly. I did all that with crayons. And even the black part, that's crayon. That's a black crayon. So you have to press pretty hard, but they work well. And I also used paint. Just normal, very cheap, got from the dollar store poster paint to paint these beautiful adult-sized fairy wings. They're so big, aren't they? They're really big. This is the part that goes against your back. Let's see if I can show you what that looks like. We're going to get a demonstration from my friends Sheila and Ishwar and Debbie are going to show us how to put these on, but just so you can see. So this is what you see from the front and from the back. That's what you see. And the ribbon comes from the back to the front. And this is the part that goes against your back, this part right here. So when we make our fairy wings, I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay? So yeah, I just use normal poster paint, just like this really cheap stuff I got at the dollar store. I think they were $2 for a pack. And I still have some left. It goes pretty far. And then I use some like glitter paint. It's just like a clear gel with glitter in it. And I went over it all with that so it looked kind of glitzy. And you can also do collage. And for mine today, we're going to collage. I've got some feathers I ripped out of my feather boas. And I also have some flowers from the flower Leia that I took apart. I don't know if these will glue stick on very well, and I'm using a glue stick. If you want, use white glue, and those will go on really well with white glue. I have some really pretty colored yarn I could use. And you don't want anything too heavy for this, okay, because cardboard in itself has some weight, and you want to keep it kind of light. And, oh yes, I cut out a whole bunch of flowers. My friend Samantha punched some out. These are the fancy ones using her punch, but you can just like cut out hearts, or I cut out some leaf shapes, bunch of leaf shapes, and some little flowers. I would do all of this before you start so that the child doesn't become impatient. There's another heart shape. I'm going to use some of those. You could use stickers as well. Stickers work really well. You've got some nice bold stickers you want to use. All right, we're going to start by finding our middle of our cardboard. Now this cardboard is 24 inches wide, so I'm going to mark the 12-inch center line using my pencil. I've got my measuring tape. I forgot to mention that. You'll probably need a measuring tape and a ruler too. It's a good thing to have. And I'm just going to mark that. And I mark it using a marker so you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. That's going to be our center line. There. We want it to be symmetrical. That's why I'm doing this. I'm going to make one half look like the other half. Now for this part, so this is the center of this one right here. And then we have to make this back portion, this strip here, 3 inches or 2.5 inches wide. You want it kind of wide because it has to form a nice strong base for the back. So for mine, I'm going to do it 2.5 inches, and I'm going to measure that from the middle line. It's at 1.25 inches on either side. There we go. I'm still using my marker. Go ahead and use pencil though, because you don't want to mark up all your fairy wings. And then I'm going to go straight through that. There we go. All right, so now I have 3 lines on my cardboard. Looks like that. And I'm not going to cut in here, okay? This I will cut just through one layer so that it ends up bending. But you can see now you've got 2 halves of your cardboard, and we'll start designing the wings. I'm going to use a pencil, and I've gone to books, and you can go online, look at fairies, look at butterflies and moths to get ideas about how you might want to make your fairy wings, or just make it up out of your head. I'm going to do something that looks a little bit kind of, ooh, like flames. I want to make like a flamey one. And I go over it in marker so you can see what I did. Whoa! It's going to have a kind of a flamey look to it. Oh! Now, you can see that I've stopped at this line here, okay? And I've done just one side. Then I'm going to make a line that goes through the whole back portion, because that's going to get cut away as well. So when I cut, I'm going to cut all the way around like this. And then I'm going to punch it out and flip it over so that that's what I'm going to use to make my mirror image, so I can end up with fairy wings that look kind of symmetrical. Okay? I'm going to stand up to do this, okay? It's easier. All right. I have a nice strong blade, so chances are this will be easy to do. I've also got a cutting mat, and I'm using the cutting mat, but if you don't have a cutting mat, cardboard, another piece of cardboard. Chances are you'll cut through 1 layer of cardboard, but not 2. That's a little strenuous. You'd have to go over it a couple, maybe 2 or 3 times to cut all the way through. You don't want to damage your nice living room table, right? Okay, here we go. Almost done. Coming around the bottom of the wing. Putting a lot of pressure on this. I had to stand up to do it. And then I'm going to cut down this line so I can punch it all out. Wow, it punches out so easily because I have such a good blade. Yeah, look at that. So I'm going to flip that over and trace it. Okay, can you see what I had to do here? So I'm going not from here, I'm going from here because it's got to be, you see the way I did that? So don't go from here, go from here. Put this right inside here, okay? And I'm going to trace this other part of the wings. I want it to be nice and symmetrical. This here, and then this portion here. Okay, it cut right off there, didn't it? That's okay. This is why I made it perfectly in half, because I wanted it to end up looking so great. All right. Oops, my pencil broke. That's okay. And then the last part here, I'm going to flip over. So now you can see how I've used that mirror image. And again, I'm going to use my marker so you can see what it looks like. 2 swoopy lines. I'm doing this pretty fast, not very meticulous, but I think it's going to turn out okay. Whoop, okay. So now I'm going to cut out the other half. Super easy with my really good X-Acto blade. Okay. And coming down like this. I'm pressing pretty hard. That's why I had to stand up to get really good leverage. When I use the X-Acto blades, I try to do it away from my hands, away from my body. So if the blade slips, it's not going into my hand, my fingers. Wow, it's looking more like fairy wings, right? Okay, now we are going to score through one layer of paper, not all the way through, just score gently through these two lines, okay? And that's going to make our fairy wings pop open. I'm going to score it very lightly. I have a really good blade, so no problem. If you're not using an X-Acto blade, you'll have to maybe use a nice sharp kitchen knife to do this. You just need to score that part so that then it pops and you end up with wings that have a little bit more dynamism. They move a little bit, right? Now we are going to make the part of the fairy wings that the ribbons will go through. So we need 2 slots on the top and 2 slots on the bottom. And I like to keep them about 1 inch apart and then maybe 4 or 5 inches between them, because that way I have a nice big back part that feels very secure. And for that, I'm just going to quickly cut. I already put my marks here, but I recommend you mark everything up, okay? You make less mistakes that way by doing it in pencil first. It's hard cutting the opposite way of the corrugated cardboard. It's easy to go with the corrugated cardboard. It's harder to go against the corrugated. And I find I often end up going too far when I'm going that way. But I think I can punch this out now. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. That's such a good blade. All right. And this is what they end up looking like. Now from here, this is where you start decorating, okay? And you can paint, you can glue, you can do markers, you can use the crayons, however you want to do it. Do both sides because you're going to see both sides. And then at the end, you can put the ribbons through. So what I did with the one that I'm going to do now is I just painted the whole wings white on both sides so that it would make a nice background for gluing. And I'm just going to take my glue stick. I've got this really good Yoo-Hoo glue. It's quite good glue stick. And I'm just doing a couple of things so you can see how it works. Now, I find with preschoolers, they can do all this on their own. Toddlers might need a little bit of help. All right, I'm going to put 2 big hearts on either side. And then I'm going to have some other ones coming down. That'll look nice. And maybe some little ones at the bottom. Wow, that glue has a kind of a smell. I like the symmetry for sure. Toddlers and preschoolers, just let them do whatever they want. School-age kids will want things that are more symmetrical and precise. But you might find that they'll just glue things all over the place, and that's okay. All right? Let them have fun with it. Adults want to have everything precise and symmetrical, but kids, let them do it their own way. I've also got these feathers. Let's see how the feathers go. Maybe we'll put some along the bottom. Wow. I'll put some of these, turquoise colored feathers along the bottom. A couple of those. I think those will stay on with the glue stick. And I've got all this light fluffy stuff that I think is going to stay in place. So you can see it's starting to take shape. Lots of children do enjoy outlining things, but just let them do whatever they want, okay? Sometimes we have to tell ourselves to let go and let the children make their own creation and express themselves through their artwork. So have fun with this. I'm just going to show you how I put the rags through. I'm using these strips of cotton instead of ribbons this time. And so because the fairy wings are going to be like this, and this will be what you see from the back, and then this is what you see from the front, but this is the portion that goes along your back, and that's where we put in the ribbons, just like that. Okay. Oh, is that right? No, it's not right. It goes the other way. Right, because this is going to come around to the front. And it's a good idea to wait until your collage and your paint has dried before you do this part. You do this part last, okay? All right. Sheila and Ishwar and Devi are going to do a quick demonstration for us on one of these videos to show us how to put them on, but I thought it would help if I show you the way we're doing it here. Okay. So this will be the part we see in the front, and this is going to be the part we see in the back. And I'm going to take the top two and put them around my head like this. And, oops, it's hard to do this by yourself. And then these are going to come like this. That's why I'm getting those guys to demonstrate for me. But kind of like that. Here, I need that one too. There we go. There. And then they would be tied up. You can tie them any way you want. Okay, and then when they open, they can flap a little bit. Fantastic. Fairy wings. And that's how you do it. Nothing to it. Thank you so much for joining me for this little workshop. And next week, we are going to make ourselves some pride crowns. And we'll look at some different ways of doing that. And then I want to see all your beautiful fairy wings when we join each other on June 27th, 4 o'clock for our family pride dance party. And you'll have to register for that and also send us your music choices because we want everyone to have their favorite music. And you can register at Seed Sprout Facebook page or at the College-Montrose Children's Place Facebook page. And then we'll all dance together and have a fun pride party, virtual party. I'm really going to love it. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.